All right, so good morning, everyone, and it's good to communicate with you, even though it's virtual and we're not together physically. And I'm glad that you've signed up for this career fair and you're interested enough to take your own career advancement into your hands. It's worth your while, it really is. My name is Ansah, and happy to join you. And just wanted to share a few thoughts with regard to moving into this digital economy and then also looking at how to build yourself up as an entrepreneur. And so while you enjoy the day's session and everything, it would be useful for you to think through how to apply the lessons that you learn so that you can be more successful out there in whatever endeavors, whether you're working for someone or whether you like to work for yourself. And so I thought it would be useful to share a few thoughts with you. And once I do that, if you have any questions, I'm sure the organizers can, connect so that we can talk through them. So because of what's happening around us with COVID-19, the world has shifted. Actually, it's more like it's turned upside down. And so you have the world of work that has also experienced major shifts. You have a lot of people working from home now. And so going into a brick and mortar office is no longer something that happens, easily. And that means that the skills that you have, the skills that you need to build, have to be skills that are adapted to this new world and to this new norm. And so building your skills, your tech savviness, being able to use the tools very quickly, software applications, new hardware for using, so modems, etc. Learning how to manipulate these tools will really go a long way to help you. And a few things that are happening in the world of work with all the changes would be one, data gathering has changed. And so in the past, where you'd be working in an organization where you're noting things down manually, putting it in an Excel sheet, etc., those days are over. Now everything is moving into the cloud. And so learning about cloud-based software and apps, where the work you're doing is being synchronized directly, those things are important. Learning about antivirus, so that whatever work you're doing, your machine is protected, and whatever you're sharing with other people over the cloud is protected. So when we talk about a digital economy, these are some of the skills you have to have, very hands-on practical skills that will go a long way, to help you in your career. And a few things that you need to do. One, you have to learn to be flexible. You have to learn to be open to new opportunities. You have to learn to conduct your job search online. You can't walk into a recruiter's office like you may have been able to in the past to hand in a hard copy of your CV. That doesn't exist anymore. And so it's important that you make sure your CV is excellent, top-notch quality. And then you are able to send that electronically to potential recruiters as you apply for jobs, etc. So your skills, very, very important to focus on building strong digital skills. And besides the tangible skills that you need, being able to use email comfortably, to conduct online research, your ability to communicate with people using different tools, all that is important, but soft skills still matter. It's very important, and I'm sure some of you may have experienced, this downtime of being home. If you don't have self-discipline, it will be very difficult to achieve anything because there's nobody sitting there with a clock monitoring you. And so the soft skills that you need to be able to pull yourself up are still very important. Number one is really self-discipline. Being able to jump out of bed even though, it's nice and cool outside these days. And even though it's easier to snuggle in bed a little bit, when you have to conduct your job search, take that as a job in itself. Self-discipline. Figure out the things that you need to do to help you to get moving. Find an accountability partner, get a timer on your phone, use Google Calendar, use tools that will help you to actually be very efficient with the use of your time. Another soft skill that's important is creativity. You have to be creative. The way in which you think has to shift a little bit. Maybe not a little bit, a whole lot. The way in which you approach things, being open to learning. There are many online platforms, and many of them for learning new skills or just deepening what you already know, your knowledge. And so it's very important that as we move into this new era, into this new season of our lives, that you open your mind up, read widely. As a recruiter, I am no longer interested in hiring somebody who has just one skill set. So they're accountants and they're good accountants and that's it. They can't think outside of accounting. We're looking for people who are versatile. We're looking for people who are well-rounded. And so now that there's a lot of information online, a lot of it is free with regard to access. Now you can read, learn a little bit more about business development, learn a little bit more about the industry you're interested in. If you want to job hunt effectively, you want to look first at the industry of interest and then second at the function. So what industry are you interested in? Is it education? Is it the manufacturing? Is it agriculture? Is it information technology? And then what function do you want to play in that industry? What is it that you want to do? Is it a marketing function? Is it HR, admin, legal, etc.? And so as you build your skills, think of these things as just a few guiding lines or guidelines to help you. You know, one, what function, two, what industry, and then also more importantly, what soft skills will help you to actually advance. Let me talk about entrepreneurship and then that'll be it. I meet a lot of people who speak about entrepreneurship as, oh, I want to work for myself. I want to be my own boss. Yes, that's fine, but that should not be the end. It should be just the means to the end. I often tell people interested in entrepreneurship that if your only motivation is so that you be your own boss, and your only motivation is so that nobody can tell you what to do, you most likely fail. Because when you set up your own business, even when you're going the wrong way, when you haven't empowered your partners, your stakeholders, your employees to tell you the truth and help you to make the right decisions, everybody keeps quiet and then you go off on the wrong foot until things fall apart. And so entrepreneurship is great as an option, especially in a world where now everything is online and you can literally start a new business online in a heartbeat. However, make sure you have people who are providing advice. Have that, one, two people, ideally three people as your advisory board or council who can give you, advice, share information on how you should go about things. And if you want to think of entrepreneurship, once again, resilience. It's a tough season. You have to be resilient. There are many who went into entrepreneurship and because of what's happening with COVID-19, things have fallen apart for them. For other people, based on the areas they went into, things have picked up. Does it mean that we should look at the market and use the market to gauge what we want to do? To an extent, but not fully. It's important that you take what you're interested in, take your passion, and build a business around it. And once you do that, even when the going gets tough, it's easier for you to push through. However, if you follow the market, you may do something that may be nice and interesting today, but may not be nice and interesting tomorrow, and may not fetch you anything tomorrow. And so find a blend between your passion, your skills, and then what the market needs. If you want to go into entrepreneurship, just think, what is it that is needed right now? One good example is delivery services. With the restricted movements and all that, many people are ordering items online. So if you're producing, you can actually put that online. And if you need to purchase, you go online and then you make your purchase. And so there's a whole economy right there that as an entrepreneur, you can tap into. And once you do that, it's not going to be easy. Entrepreneurship is never easy. When people are fast asleep, when your employees are fast asleep, you're sitting there wondering how to pay them, how to balance your books. And so my advice would be resilient, be creative, be a critical thinker, think of all the dots and how they connect, and make sure that you're combining your digital skills with your interest in entrepreneurship or your interest in working, in another person's organization and doing it well, and using that as your training ground so that when you decide to work for yourself, you'd have picked up all the necessary skills and the lessons. I hope that this gives you a little bit of context and something to think about even as you start and continue this journey with the virtual career fair. Thank you very much, and it's been a pleasure talking to you.